I served in the Louisiana National Guard, and hopefully we can be a sponsor and show our respect. And you don't have to be a veteran to participate by buying a brick in your name or a name of an uncle or your
daddy. Just
got to
be patriotic.
Just patriotic. That's all. That's a good word to use. Patriotic. They need to raise about $300,000, and I think they're only like at about
Welcome back, KSLO.
They're a little over 100,000. So they have good ways to go, but it's a beautiful. I mean, they showed a picture here.
Oh, it's going to be a nice memorial. It's
and about the best location, Evangeline Downs. I want to thank Mr. Mike over at Evangeline Downs and all Mr. Swain, the whole group over with Peninsula Gaming that owns Evangeline Downs. They're good participants in the community, and in fact, they're getting ready to open the thoroughbred season April the 6th, and which is not today, next Wednesday, the season will open. I had an opportunity to meet the racing secretary, Mr. Coleman Lloyd. Very nice gentleman. Took some time to sit and talk with Mr. Jim Bervin and I, going in to ask him a question about a matter, and he's very excited. He feels that this is possibly going to be the biggest season they've ever had. There's horsemen from all over the United States are trying to get to have some racing dates over here.
I was at the Way of the Cross just the other day at St. Andrew Church every Friday afternoon during Lent. Saw Daniel White, but there was a lady there who was admiring the church, and of course me, Bobby Dupre's rubbed off on me, and I say, ma'am, where are you from? Well, I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and I'm here, and I heard there was the Way of the Cross here on Friday afternoons. So I got talking to her, and she was in town just for the sale that they had. Remember a couple of weekends ago they had the sale. So there she was coming into town. So she went to church here. She went and get a hamburger here. She went and get whatever else she needed over here.
Hopefully she stayed at Evangeline Downs Hotel.
That's correct. So these people, they're not just going looking at the horse, throwing $3 in on their bet and going home. They're becoming part of the community. They're participating in our churches. They're participating in our businesses. They're participating in everything we do.
The new event center that was built at Evangeline Downs, by Evangeline Downs, I might add, is really hitting a home run. All sorts of events are taking place there, and you might want to talk about one that took place.
Well, we had one this past Thursday night. I've been advertising the last couple of weeks. Kick to the photos here, Mark. You and I went down, and a whole bunch of our friends went to Evangeline Downs at the Event Center for the Chamber of Commerce Awards Banquet. And of course, there's Miss Susie Peck that was there. We got you to come with Miss Vicky, because we told you that the Cerebral Palsy Clinic and Charles Goins was going to get an award there, but we didn't tell you the whole truth. The real truth was
y'all caught me.
The Chamber of Commerce, their members vote and they nominate and everything. And I got the call before you and I started Silent Retreat, the day we were about to start it, I get a call and they said, Bobby just won for the Humanitarian Award, and we need you to get him there on time and make sure everything is going to work, and make sure nobody tells him, which of course is impossible because Bobby Dupre knows everything that goes on in this parish. So I had to scramble and get everything together to try to make sure it happened. But it was a nice award ceremony. We had Miss Sabrina Salling, who's in the picture over on the left, who was the, I guess she's president of the chamber right now.
That's correct.
Or is it CEO? I forget exactly how they put it.
No, CEO is
Frankie Bertrand.
Frankie Bertrand.
Okay,
and Miss Frankie was sick that night.
And couldn't make it.
That made her really sick not being there.
Sabrina told me this thing was going to be on time. And it was perfectly on time. At 6:30, Miss Cheryl Ned did a lot of the talking. We're going to show a picture of Cheryl in a minute. Everything was very quick. Everybody cut up. It was funny. It was fun. The food was excellent. People were dressed to the nines. The convention center at Evangeline Downs, second to none. Really, really nice, the whole layout. The food, the smoked prime rib. Keith Norman laughed at me because they put a huge piece and I just didn't move. And the guy put a second piece. Keith said, there's no way you're going to eat all that. I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to eat it. It was so good.
And you're on a diet.
And I'm on a diet. I'm
but that's
weight.
Not fattening.
Not just the meat. I'm in good shape as long as I stay away from all that pasta. But then we also surprised you that both your daughters made it as well.
That's right.
And so we had Kelly Dupre there and Megan Dupre. And Megan came in from Tulane in New Orleans. And Kelly's here in town. But we made sure everybody made it. And then we also, there you are laughing and cutting up. You were speechless, you said, of course, but it wasn't totally
speechless.
speechless.
I was speechless at first. I mean, it caught me off. You did a good job. I have to say the whole group did a great job. And I might add that Trey Thibodeau is the next president of the chamber.
Oh, well, good.
Or next chairman of the board. Next chairman of the board is what he is.
But is Cheryl witty and funny and just fun and beautiful?
She did all the presentations, and she wrote up each part, and it had something was funny about each one of them. And Cheryl, thank you for taking your time, because this is a young lady, local, homegrown, that had a vice president's job at St. Landry Bank, where I suppose she retired, to go and seek her real love, and that is
which is stage and theater.
Theater, acting, being an actress.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, she stole the show on last Thursday night.
Beautiful girl.
I just want to thank everybody. It was a real big surprise to me.
The whole board of the Cerebral Palsy Clinic came as well, because they were excited.
Yeah. And then we have some other people that we need to talk about here, if you don't mind. You want to do that?
Well, let me show a couple more photos from the event, then we'll talk about the folks. We got Don Menard, outgoing parish president, was there, and you with Megan. And then you're showing off the award. It's a pretty award, like a glass crystal.
Very different. Very, very different. And I might add that these were, if I understood correctly,
voted on by the members.
But the awards were made and given given to the chamber by Freddie Critter and his wife Chris.
Oh, well, great.
With Critter Sportswear.
I saw them there that night.
Yes.
And we got Blue Noel, we talked about earlier, with ABC, and we got your friend with
Mr. Jim Bervin
with the hotel.
That is correct, and he's here. He's been here for a few days. We've been making the circles.
And I saw you brought him even a 3 Mile Lake.
Saturday afternoon, he came over and we barbecued, and we just he's a wonderful guy. He's part of the community. Understand that he lives in Watertown, South Dakota. But he's got a second home now, and it's in Opelousas. And of course, he's the gentleman that promoted from the ground the financing of the facility, the Evangeline Downs Hotel, and it's beautiful. And thanks to a lot of you who are sending people over, they're really picking up. The business has really come. Last Friday, they were just about filled up. Saturday night, they were 100% filled up. And it's on like this. The future looks real good. And then with Evangeline Downs racing starting Wednesday through Saturdays, that should give another good boost to the hotel. And then it helps the casino. And then the casino helps the horsemen. And a lot of jobs. We forget about the jobs that Evangeline Downs has created.
Just top to bottom, from the man who's got to mop the floor all the way up to the CEO of the whole thing.
That's everybody, Mr. Mike Howard.
Everybody does well.
All the way down and all the way up.
We're talking about the Chamber Awards. We also Miss Rose Ollier.
And I've been around her, but I don't know a lot about her. But from the people that I've spoken to since the award was presented to her that night and since, she really has done a lot of volunteer
and the Jufio
work.
family, very involved in the cemetery tours we do at St. Landry Church.
That's correct. And of course, Deanna Lejeune, many of us have got to know Deanna. She's a hard worker. She thanked everyone associated with Opelousas General Hospital for allowing her to go into the community and do the charitable work that she loves to do. So we want to thank Opelousas General.
She was a Stella from Port Barrow, so that's all that whole clique there too.
We introduced Mr. Jim and Philip LaRocca, who is now the new general manager of the hotel, to Gary over at Opelousas General yesterday afternoon. Gary Keller. And got to visit with him, and I said, be sure to tell Miss Rita, your wife, Rita Barn Keller, hello. He says, you remember all those names? I said, well, years ago we met.
They were here, so that's right.
I can remember that. That's his third time back at Opelousas General. Three times. I could remember twice.
I remember when he got the job in Florida because one of the kids was going to go to school at Florida, maybe a football player.
Football player, you're right.
Mercedes with that Florida plate, I remember that.
So Deanna, we love you. And then Melanie Lee LaBeouf, tireless worker, does tourism promotion for the city, but it's way more than the city. It becomes the parish. And we know her and know her very, very well.
And her daddy Lindsay.
And her daddy Lindsay, we know him.
And of course, Sabrina Salling, who was the head of the thing, works with Clico over here in town. And a lot of people know her through Clico, but she's done a bang-up job in organizing this thing.
And her daddy, Ted, is one of the senior vice presidents at Washington State Bank, one of our sponsors.
I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
Well, did you see I learned something new?
I didn't see Miss Sue at the awards, did you?
I did not get to see her either.
Do you think she was there?
Must not have been, because
we need to find out.
We're going to call her after this, and we'll go meet her for lunch, coffee or something.
See, we're kind of late, maybe, finish, but we'll try.
Washington State Bank, all your banking needs, they're based out of Washington, but they got locations all throughout St. Leonard Parish, and they handle big projects outside the parish, too. If you're looking for financing, if it's commercial, if it's personal, if you need 24/7 banking, if you need long-term fixed loans. They specialize in that. Washington State Bank, all about helping folks. And how about another sponsor, Steamboat Warehouse? While we're talking about Washington, get mama away from the smell of her own cooking. Go to Steamboat Warehouse. Great food, atmosphere second to none, seafood incredible, steaks incredible. Right now the weather's going to be gorgeous this weekend. You can bring mama over there after you work in the yard all day. You're going to go down there, get your little bite to eat, enjoy a little glass of red wine, because they got a great wine selection with chef owner Jason Hugate at Steamboat Warehouse.
Saw Lee Trahan over at Cole's Lounge, must have been Monday, and he said, you know, a person that watches your program a whole lot of the time is having a birthday on the 28th, which was, a couple of days ago. And his sister is Doris Collins, Mr. Red Collins' wife. And so, Miss Doris, a belated happy birthday. And another person that I met there was Kurt Tate. And he says, Mr. Bobby, congratulations on the humanitarian award. He had read the newspaper, seen the picture, and he's quite a character, Kurt is. He's a painter and works with Dale Swallow, the painter. There's two Dales in the area, but
one's
the painter. And Kurt, he says, I bet you don't know who my daddy was. I said, well, don't hold me, tell me. He says, my daddy was Mr. Clarence Tate. I said, with the school board, he was one of the best known employees that the St. Leonard Parish School Board ever had.
Very good. Well, we're going to go to break. 3 minutes on TV, 3 minutes on radio. We'll see you on the other side of 3, folks.